Hey Nick,
Hey,
hey, how you doing?
great.
What are you up to?
Well, I am working on my second full length album, and we just wrapped the Bass in Your Face tour, and we're getting ready to start the NWJB tour, which is Nik West featuring John Blackwell in Europe and Asia and America.
So full world tour. That sounds cool.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background when you started playing music?
So I grew up singing, of course, in children's choirs when I was 3 years old. So I've always kind of sang a little bit. And I heard Michael Jackson's "You Want to Be Starting Something" in high school when I was 15 or 16. In this particular day, I actually heard the bass line because my dad's been playing all this stuff forever, but I really listened and I said, "What is that instrument?" And he's like, "It's a bass." I'm like, "Well, I want to play that." So he took me to the pawn shop and bought a $50 bass and taught me some bass lines, and the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah. Do you still have that bass?
You know what? I lent it to a friend and I never got it back.
Aw.
I know.
Yeah.
Shame, but
Yeah. So you obviously is inspired of the bass players from the Michael Jackson albums. Is there other bass players you were inspired by?
yeah, so of course, like Louis Johnson, who played
Yeah.
on Get on the Floor, Michael Jackson. Just when I saw a video of him slapping the bass, like he was just going crazy, just like, thunder thumb. So I was really inspired first, I think, by Louis Johnson. And then later on, of course, I learned about Jaco Pastorius and James Jamerson. And then it was Marcus Miller. And for me, I really think that Jaco and Marcus were the two that really created a sound, a tone. And when you turn on an album in first 10 seconds into the song, you know that it's Jaco or you know that it's Marcus Miller. And that's what I really, really love their styles for, because they're just creative that way. And then of course, there's many other bass players that I'm inspired by, but I think those are the main ones. And then later on, I learned about Larry Graham.
Oh.
So I went to
Yeah.
Prince called me. I went to Paisley Park and he asked me the same questions: who's your favorite bass players? And I named my favorite bass players, the bass players that I'd been inspired by. And then he's like, "Okay, but you like Marcus Miller, Louis Johnson. Larry Graham was the creator of the slap and pop. You got to know about Larry if you know about Marcus." So from that point on, it was kind of like Larry Graham bass boot camp for me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, definitely Larry.
He's wild.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like the bass player's Jimi Hendrix in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. So, you most definitely have made it to the roof in a way as an artist and as a bass player. What do you do something special when you practice? Is there something that keeps you fresh and learning new stuff?
I think for me, it's just about, because I think there's a lot of people that do covers. People do covers and practice them and maybe upload them to YouTube. I think the best thing for me is to take those covers and put a spin on it. So I've done like some Stevie Wonder covers and like the Seinfeld bass line, but I'll play the bass line as it is and then put my own spin on it, add a couple extra like triplets or quadruplets or something to it just to kind of make it my own. And I think for me, that's what I do when I practice. And my dad told me, if you're not sweating when you're practicing, then you're not practicing. So if I'm playing what's easy, if I'm playing what I know, then I'm not practicing.
Okay, cool. Do you have an advice for a beginner musician?
Beginner musicians, I would say don't get discouraged. It takes a while to actually build the muscle memory and the finger memory to really play the bass lines or guitar lines or whatever. And then when your fingers get hurt in the beginning, when I was playing, like my fingers would bleed and get all these, because I had no calluses. So I was building up those calluses. I heard from Flea to put super glue on those sores and those nasty, bloody wounds. And it's like a callus. It turns your finger into a callus, so where you can just keep playing. So I think don't get discouraged, keep going and know that it takes time, and super glue those fingers.